So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, smash the like button on this video. As you guys know, I appreciate your support. Always appreciate your support. So smash the like button. Let's get this video to as many likes as possible. Guys, so we've got Vasily Lomachenko fighting this weekend. I'm looking forward to Vasily. You know, he put in a very good performance after his loss against Lopez, against Nakatani. And I was very impressed with Vasily. I thought Vasily was exceptional against Nakatani. I thought his performance was unbelievable, and you have to give him credit and you have to give him massive respect. The way he came back, and you look like the old Loma when he fought Nakatani. His performance against Teofimo was a bit flat. You know, obviously we know he had an injury. He wants that rematch with Lopez very badly. Lopez at the minute seems like a one-hit wonder. Although I think Lopez beat Richard Comey, beat Nakatani, so we did have some wins coming into that fight with Lomachenko. But when you look at the way that Lomachenko dealt with Nakatani, and obviously, you know, Teofimo did a very good job on Richard Comey, so let's see how Lomachenko gets on. I don't think Lomachenko is going to knock Richard Comey out the way Teofimo did, because Teofimo is very explosive and he managed to land a huge shot, which, you know, Comey couldn't recover from. But I believe Lomachenko is going to dominate and do a job, because Lomachenko is a very special fighter indeed. Lomachenko is one of the best fighters in the world, without question. I think he's been overlooked after that loss against Lopez. I think everybody's not giving him the respect. This guy is the quickest three-weight world champion in the history of the sport. You know, I know he's got 2 losses, but that's irrelevant. Look how quickly he's become a three-weight world. How many fighters do you know in like 16 fights become a three-weight world champion? You know, that's unheard of. That type of feat is unheard of, and I think he's been completely dismissed and overlooked by a lot of the boxing world. I actually think he's the best lightweight in the world. I think he beats them all. I think he'd beat Gervonta Davis handily. I think he'd beat Devin Haney. I think he'd beat Kambosos. I think he'd beat Ryan Garcia with ease. I don't really think there's a lightweight out there as good as this guy. I think he's still that special guy. Lomachenko is an incredible fighter. You know, 1 loss against Lopez and everybody thinks he's rubbish. Like, come on. We've got to be serious. Sometimes as boxing fans, we've got to be real. You know, he's, for me, the best lightweight in the world. He's the best lightweight in the world. Tell me who's better than him. You can't. You can't. There isn't a fighter in the lightweight division better than Lomachenko. You know, yeah, he may now be in the mix in the sense that because he lost to Lopez, and then obviously Lopez has gone on to lose to Kambosos, everybody looks at him not the same way because he's taken that L against Lopez. But you can't be sitting here and telling me that Lomachenko, just because of that loss, and let's not forget, that was a very close loss. People are acting like he got hammered in that fight. No. He lost a very close decision. He didn't get battered. He didn't get blown out. He lost a very close decision. How are people looking at that fight and going on like Lomachenko's finished? Like, come on. You know, this is what really frustrates me about boxing fans. Like, we're very reactionary. Do we, like, a guy has a loss and we just forget about what he's done in the past? Oh, he's rubbish. He's overrated. He's overhyped. How can we just forget about what a guy did you know, his quickest three-weight world champion? Look at it, beat Gary Russell. You know, beat Rigondeaux. Beat all these guys easily. You know, but all of a sudden he's overhyped and he's overrated. You know, he wanted to fight Lopez in the rematch. They don't want to go near him. It's hardly his fault that they don't want to go near him. You know, I just feel like he's being disrespected. I do. I feel like he's being disrespected. I feel like he deserves a lot more credit and a lot more respect than what he's getting. I think he's an unbelievable talent. I still think he's the best lightweight in the world. You guys may disagree with me and say, no, he's not. I believe he's the best lightweight in the world. If you think there's someone better, let me know in the comment section. I don't think there's anyone better than him. Full stop. And he beats Haney, he beats Ryan Garcia, he beats Tank, he beats all of these guys. He will become the undisputed lightweight in the world if the opportunities present itself. He'll beat Kambosos and he'll beat Haney. And both those guys will be willing to fight Lomachenko, and that's what I like. So I'm glad that there's not Tank or Ryan Garcia or all these guys haven't got the belts, because those guys I think would be reluctant to fight Loma, whereas I think Kambosos and Haney won't be reluctant to fight Loma. I think they'd fight, both of them would fight him. And hence why I think Lomachenko has got a great chance of becoming undisputed, because I think the guys that have got the belts would be willing to fight Lomachenko. And And that's why I'm happy for the lightweight division, because I think we'll get to see an undisputed champion. I do think Lomachenko beats him all. I think Lomachenko would beat Haney comfortably. I think he's just all wrong. I think Lomachenko is a very skilled, and very rarely you see a fighter like this. Lomachenko is a pressure fighter, but a very skilled pressure fighter. So like a pressure fighter that's making you miss and making you pay, frustrating you. He's so good. He's like a surgeon. He's so good. And very rarely, normally pressure fighters are like Maidana, Porter. They're a bit wild. They're a bit, they're a bit loose. But Lomachenko is just a technically gifted pressure fighter. And he's doing it with so much, he's doing it with so much class, and he's oozing class, and he's so pleasing to the eye while he's doing it. His movement, his side to side movement is unbelievable. The way he's not letting you get set, he's just confusing you. It's unbelievable. And one poor fight against Lopez, which we now know he had a shoulder injury, which he had surgery after the fight, by the way. Everybody writes him off and said he's no good, and this, that, the other, and he's the best lightweight in the world. Without question, Lomachenko's the best lightweight in the world. Without question. One bad fight don't mean you're not, like, I know when you're at the top, and Lomachenko was pound for pound. Now people don't even have him in the pound for pound list. How? How can you not have Lomachenko in the pound for pound list? He's the quickest 3-weight world champion in the history of the sport. The guy's a phenomenon, and you're just completely overlooking him as a fighter. I honestly don't understand. I honestly don't understand how people can be so reactionary. I don't understand how boxing fans can be so reactionary to a guy losing a fight. I just don't get it. Lomachenko, like I said, he's a very skilled pressure fighter. He's a very, very skilled. He puts you under a lot of pressure. He's very unusual. His style is unusual because, like I said, you don't get pressure fighters that are that skilled. And he's not doing it with brute force. He's doing it with class. His technical ability is something else. Like Canelo is aggressive, come for Gennady Golovkin. They're very good technical fighters, but they're not as pleasing to the eye as Lomachenko. Lomachenko is doing it differently. He's a pressure fighter, moving from side to side, making you miss. He almost frustrates you because you can't hit him, and he's hitting you. He's so fast, so quick on his feet, moving side to side. He's confusing the guy. He does, he almost puts you in a position where you feel helpless. You feel hopeless. You don't know what you can do, and that's why a lot of guys quit, because they feel like, I can't get near this guy. Lopez was a big guy, big strong guy, and he had a great game plan. He managed to beat Lomachenko. I think the rematch would be completely different, by the way, because I think Lomachenko would dominate him. I do. I think Lomachenko would take Lopez apart in the rematch. Don't get me wrong. I think Lomachenko will always be wary because he knows that Lopez has power. But I do think there was an issue there with his shoulder, which I'm not saying that was the reason he lost. I believe that hindered it. But I also feel like Lopez's power meant that Lomachenko wasn't as committing. But when he realized in the second half of the fight that this guy's power is not all that, I feel like he came in mentally thinking this guy's a very big puncher. Hence why he didn't let his hands go as much. Lopez's power also, he hit him with a few body shots. He hit him with a few shots where Lomachenko was like, okay, I can't go forward with this guy recklessly like I do with the other guys because this guy can punch. But I'll say this, I think in the rematch he would have, I feel like he would have had the ability to adjust, and I think he would have beaten Lopez quite comfortably in the rematch, if I'm totally honest with you. I honestly think Lopez is, I won't want to say overrated, but I do think he is a little bit overrated because I saw him against Nakatani and he got outboxed there a little bit, and I wasn't too impressed. And then I saw him against Richard Comey. That was a good performance, but I feel like he's a little bit wild. And against Kambosos, I think you could clearly see Lopez look really wild, throwing shots and just not looking great, just looking very wild. And I think that's what Lopez is. But I think he looks so much more greater than what he is against Lomachenko. And that kind of, like I said, fans are reactionary. So they saw that, Lopez is the next biggest thing since sliced bread. He's the best. But actually, when you look back at it after watching him against Kambosos and the Nakatani fight, you can realize that there's holes in his game. He can be outboxed, and he is a bit wild as well. And that's my take on Lomachenko, Tio. I don't really think I think fans were reactionary with Lomachenko and they kind of writ him off. Oh, he's not that good, he's overhyped. And I think fans overrated Tio on that one win. when there was a lot of factors that was, listen, I think Lomachenko wasn't at his best, and I think Lomachenko also had an injury, which didn't help his cause. And Tio was great, you know, he had a night of his life, fair enough, but it was very close regarding all those factors. I think the second time, I think Lomachenko would have had him worked out, and I think it would have been a completely different fight. And hence why I think, look, Danny Garcia beat Amir Khan in when they fought. Danny Garcia wasn't willing to fight Amir Khan again. Why? Even though he knew Khan had not the greatest chin, he knew that in the rematch it'd be completely different, because Amir Khan's not going to come out as aggressive. Also, he's going to be prepared for the fact that my dad was trash talking. So he's not going to come out aggressive with emotion. He's going to look to box on the outside. Garcia had trouble with that style. So Garcia knew that in the rematch it'd be completely different. So they wanted to go nowhere near Khan. If you look at it now, Garcia wants to fight Amir Khan. He's saying, if you come through Brook, I'll fight you. The reason why he's saying that is because now Garcia's got nowhere to go. Do you understand? So now Teofimo Lopez may be willing to fight Lomachenko because he's probably in the Who Needs Me club. It's like Garcia is right now, because Garcia's lost and he's got nowhere to go. And he knows a fight with Khan is going to make him a lot of money. Right? So that's why. And he knows that fight could happen in the UK or it could happen in America. And he knows that fight will sell. I actually think that fight, I think both fighters, Amir Khan and, I'm going a little bit off topic and I will do a separate video about this. Amir Khan and Garcia will be a bigger fight in the UK than America, because I still think the UK fans will come out because of the history, the rivalry, the fact that Garcia knocked him out. The same, but with the Lomachenko-Lopez fight, I think if fight's lost its luster, but I still think there's a market there for that fight. And I think that fight could happen now, more so. But I disagree. I don't think the fight's going to happen, because I think Lopez is going to move up to 140, and I don't think Lomachenko is going to chase him at 140. So I think we'll probably never see that fight again. But again, Lopez may decide to stay at 135 and say, you know what, I want to fight Lomachenko, I want to fight these guys, because where's Lopez really going to go now? You know, Taylor's already said, I've no interest in him. You know, he lost. Why am I going to fight him? So that's my take. I think Lomachenko is going to follow the footsteps of Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, looking to become undisputed. But what do you guys think? Do you think he's going to do that? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.